Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. We've got a great lineup once again, discussing some very important things. Let's take a look. We'll start off with the Board of Governors meeting for the Pakistan Cricket Board. Pakistan Cricket Board held its 69th meeting of the Board of Governors, approving a budget of 15 billion rupees. 78% budget has been allocated to cricket-related activities. List of central contracts will be announced soon, along with other decisions that have been taken as well. Very, very important meeting at a very, very pertinent time. We will be discussing the entire thing in detail, of course, and lots more to discuss, but right after this. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Time now to discuss things in detail, and in studios, first of all, we've been joined by our cricket expert and commentator, K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by sports expert from all the way land of food. Of course, he keeps on posting these pictures, and of course, we do get a bit frustrated at times, considering that he probably has one of the best cooks possible. But the fact is that he's a king himself, isn't he? Hassan Hussain Qureshi is joining us on Sports Extra. Assalamu alaikum, Hassan bhai. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed ji. Assalamu alaikum, Asif bhai. Ahmed ji, I do my cooking myself, so it's very, very kind of you.
So, well, did he invite you ever for the food or not?
He always does, but we seldom get time. But I think it's got to be the other way around. Now we invite him as a guest and make him cook. So that's how things should be. But talking about the Board of Governors meeting of the Pakistan Cricket Board, which was held today, we've got a report on that. Let's take a look and then continue further.
Pakistan Cricket Board held its 69th Board of Governors meeting and took consequential decisions pertaining to important cricketing matters. The most important decision taken by the board was an increase in the operational activity-based annual budget for the 2022-23 fiscal year. PCB approved a budget of 15 billion Pakistani rupees with 78% allocated to cricket-related activities. The budget would be spent on enhanced central contracts for men and women cricketers, men's and women's international and domestic cricket events, with additional local tournaments and matches, the HPL Pakistan Super League 8 and the inaugural Pakistan Junior League. In addition to the operational budget, the Board of Governors approved an allocation of funds for the upgradation of the infrastructure and stadia, which includes floodlights, replay screens, play dressing rooms and new spectator chairs. For women's central contract, there will be a 15% increase in retainers across all categories. The pool of women centrally contracted players may be increased from 20 players to up to 25 players. The Pakistan Cricket Board will shortly announce the list of men's and women's central contracts for 2022-23, which will come into effect from 1st July.
Well, there you go. All you need to know about this Board of Governors meeting that was held at the PCB headquarters with Chairman PCB Ramiz Raja in the chair. K. Asif Ahmed, first of all, your overall outlook of this press conference that was done after this Board of Governors meeting and all the decisions that have been announced as well.
It was really positive, and Ramiz Raja always talks about positivity. And in his press conference, he said that I don't want negativity from anyone. And he has pointed out some important things that the Pakistan media is not supporting him. It's not like that. Honestly, every Pakistani loves cricket, and we support cricket. We support Pakistan Cricket Board. We support Ramiz Raja. But something we want some extraordinary steps from Ramiz Raja being chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board. And we always talk about accountability. And Ramiz Raja, before coming the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, he was pretty much vocal concerning accountability in Pakistan cricket, the way he took stance against match fixes and the lobby of match fixing. Everyone knows that. So that's why we are supporting him. According to the press conference, if we talk about the 69th session of Board of Governors, it was concerning the really important for the Pakistan cricket's future. The way Ramiz Raja said that he has taken very strong steps concerning New Zealand's cancellation of Pakistan tour and the way they abandoned and they went back. He said that I've taken strong steps, and that's why the rest of the teams like Australia, England, they have announced, and even New Zealand announced their tours again, and they're coming. Australia already came here, and Ramiz Raja was pretty much positive about the the spectators, the way they are supporting. Yes,
the integral part of Pakistan cricket.
Yes, and he said that in Multan it was pretty much hot weather, but the spectators were there and crowd was pretty much charged, because crowd loves cricket. And when we talk about remote areas, or you can say that small cities, even Faisalabad, Peshawar, they always talk about that the PSL matches should be held there. So overall, it was a good press conference. Sometimes on the while replying some questions, he was pretty much annoyed as well, because he always says that that I'm here to serve cricket. Yes, everyone knows that you're there to serve cricket and you have some tasks and you want to complete there. But after changing regime in Pakistan, now some people are talking about that the change in the regime of PCB should be required.
Absolutely, that is of course the wind that has been blowing. But of course, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif earlier made it clear that he has no plans to change Chairman PCB as of now, and he said that I've heard that he's doing work on the right direction, and we hope the best for Pakistan cricket. But obviously, that is one part of the system as well. Hassan Hussain Qureshi, your overall outlook of this meeting as well. If I talk about certain steps, the creation of Pakistan Cricket Foundation as a charitable trust for supporting retired cricketers, match officials, scorers and ground staff facing severe financial hardships, one of these, and then of course making sure that 75% success rate across all formats has been achieved. So the outlook of the budget financially has also been increased to 15 billion rupees.
It's great to see, Ahmedji. I think it's also wonderful to see the creation of the Pakistan Cricket Foundation. We have to look after our people, those that have served the country, in some cases for 40, 50 years. They should know that having served Pakistan cricket, they're going to be looked after. Really good to see that. Good to see separate contracts for red ball and white ball cricket. If someone is playing just red ball cricket, they shouldn't feel they're missing out. They should be able to focus just on that. The guys playing just white ball cricket should be able to focus on that. An increase in the number of players that one can say would be in the background, those making comebacks or those about to get ready. So it's a player-friendly, person-friendly, and overall, I'd say a fan-friendly, budget. And it's good to see. It's the right direction. Of course, implementation, Ahmedji, is very important. But for right now, it's brilliant to see the direction that Chairman Ramiz Raja and the Board of Governors have taken. And it's good to see that these are positive changes when they become implemented and puts Pakistan cricket on the right track. The overall change may take some time. We'll need to be patient, but if we're going in the right direction, it's always a good thing to see.
Hassan, you, me and a lot of other people have been strong advocates of a strong system on the domestic and then grassroots levels as well. If the budget outlook is 15 billion rupees, it may be 20 or 25 billion even, but the fact is that majority needs to come down to the structure like a trickle-down effect.
Absolutely, Ahmed, spot on. It does need to, and it's about making sure that in the current climate we do the right spending. It's not necessarily just about being large amounts that are being spent, but whatever amount it is being spent the right way. And when you have strong grassroots cricket, this is something the chairman has spoken about himself, that we want to be like Australia. Well, Australia have a very strong grassroots system that starts all the way from schools and clubs before going on to the domestic teams, before going on to the test team. When we start doing the same from a grassroots level, going all the way to the top, only Pakistan cricket will benefit. I think you're absolutely right. It's something that needs to be prioritized.
Absolutely, it should be. These two separate things. First of all, the grassroots cricket as well is there. I'll come to that in just a bit. But my first question to you, because me, you, even Hassan and everybody else have often seen some of our former cricketers, match officials even. Yesterday, I was very disturbed. I saw a picture of former umpire Asud Rauf, elite panel of umpires, running a small business of second-hand items somewhere.
In Lahore.
In Lahore,
Yeah.
his health looked deteriorated as well. So to take care of these people, the formation of this foundation is very important.
That's right. And as Hassan said, that the things are going smooth and going on the right way. Give them some time. Yes, because I met several former test cricketers, that, and I came to know that we have several former test cricketers who don't have even their own house, And when I have asked their names, I was pretty much astonished and they said, please do not take our names. Even they still say that, okay, we are fine. Even we are living in a rent place, does not matter. But this is not good. As Ramiz Raja said in his press conference, that we want to give respect to our cricketers and the respect, and of course they're sorting out their financial issues as well. It's really important, that in the previously we have seen that the players who remain in match fixing, I must talk about them. Why they went on that line, or why they went, why they are being chased by the match fixers, because they know that their humble background, they know that from where they came and how they are lightning on money.
Yes, easy to manipulate.
Yes, easy to manipulate. So I think now this is the right direction.
Yes.
And Ramiz Raja is pretty much, and in his press conference, he thanked to the sponsors as well, the way they are supporting even the schools who are supporting to this, giving education to the youngsters, school kids, and then getting money and stipend.
But the guy's got a face value. Ramiz Raja will probably bring in more sponsors because of his face value.
And before the match, I was talking about some sponsors to Ahmed as well. So you also got a face value.
Yeah, so we definitely need to bring in more sponsors wherever we are. So that would be the case. But obviously there are certain decisions, like I talked about them, which do make sense. A handsome increase in the amount of central contracts as well, and each and everything. And probably I think thinking as a mind of a cricketer really makes a difference. And being a strong administrator, I think, is cherry on the top as well, the way things are going. But one thing is for sure, that we hope that the best comes out from the PCB. There are certain decisions that need to be appreciated. There are still certain decisions that need to be criticized. Constructive criticism should always be there. It's our job, including the fact about the disappointing structure of clubs right now in Pakistan. Scrutiny processes are underway, but then again, there is no future right now. Then school cricket also needs a lot of attention.
And
probably
one
the PCB.
Thing, sorry to cut you, Ahmed. As Ramiz Raja said, that we are bringing foreigner coaches in our domestic cricket as well. So I've spoken to one of our local coaches, and he said that, okay, then where will we go? This is the question.
They can go to foreign then. So it's a coach exchange program.
See, if in your domestic, they are going for an experiment. We appreciate that. But they should have an alternative for our persons. That why you are, if they're losing job, then how could you help them?
I understand. Like I said, certain things do need to be addressed in detail. Moving on now, we've got more things to talk about, and New Zealand is facing England. Their batting is still underway. They've survived another session until lunch. Yesterday, we would have thought they might be bowled out on the day, but spectacular performance when you talk about the Kiwis. 325 for 8 on lunch. Tim Southee is batting on 33, not out earlier. We had a brilliant performance from Daryl Mitchell, yet again scoring another 100, 109, and Blundell scoring 55. A great partnership by these two, and England were put to the metal. Of course, Stuart Broad picking up 3 wickets alongside Jack Leach, and 1 wicket apiece for Matthew Potts and Jamie Overton as well. Well, Hassan, the Kiwis have got some tough competition. I mean, who would have expected this? But me and Asif were just thinking that if Daryl Mitchell is playing like this in English conditions, God knows what he's going to do to us when he comes for a test series.
He's been quite fantastic, hasn't he, Energy? And the fact that he's become the first player to score 300s in a row against England in England just speaks for the fact when you consider how long Test cricket has been played. And he's come in always in a difficult situation. Every time you think, right, England are really on top. I know England have gone on to win those games, but every time you think New Zealand are going to be bowled out, him and Blundell, they must be sick at the sight of them. Between the two of them, they've got over 570 runs as a duo in this series. And he's really brought on his A game, and just the fact that the form that he's in and the fact that he's continuing to do it again and again, and we really should look to have a plan against him because he seems to be very calm. He seems not to be unfazed with, by what's going on around him, and he keeps sticking to the basics, and he's doing very, very well. 300s on the trot in foreign conditions. We really should be thinking about him when he comes here, and he can be very proud of his performance.
But one thing is for sure, even the English are wondering. Even somebody asked in the morning as well that what is Daryl Mitchell eating? And it's a big mystery right now. But I was able to study a bit of his career. This is a guy who's played more than 80 matches in first class and a lot of T20s on the domestic level. He's just played 11 test matches so far. He's averaging phenomenally right now, more than 700 runs. Even his T20 strike rate is above 130. But the way he's gelled into test cricket tells us that he comes from a very strong structure.
Yes, we were pretty much hopeful about Conway, but the way Mitchell is playing and the way he has started up his career, that when you talk about that a player coming up with 80 first class matches experience, it does matter a lot. And when we talk about Mike Hussey scoring 10,000 domestic runs and then coming to the international side, and then people call him Mr. Cricket. And it speaks, and how it speaks when you play, of course. So Daryl Mitchell, if you see his batting technique, if you see his body language, actually, all the pressure on you when your captain is not performing. Tom left him. He's out of form. He's not performing, up to the mark. And then, of course, Conway. So all the pressure on you, and right down, you're getting support from Trent Bolt and Tim Southee. They're new openers from the down now, the way they are playing. So rightly said by Hassan that the way he's playing now is the backbone for the New Zealand.
Well, they're test champions for a reason, Hassan. If you look at the complete team outlook, it looks like a phenomenal side. Impressive fast bowling lineup, impressive batting order. If there's no support from the openers, the middle order will take over. No middle order, the tail will take over. And I don't know why people are underrating this young, I won't say young now, he's pretty old, off spinner. But I think Bracewell is a fantastic bowler himself.
And a very good batsman, Amaji. Someone whose family has been playing Test cricket and international cricket for a while now. So again, they just keep producing these kind of players. They keep bringing them back again. The system has to be lauded. I mean, you were talking about spinners. Jas Patel took 10 wickets, didn't play the next game. That's the kind of depth that New Zealand cricket have, and they always seem to find players. And if I'm not wrong, they have 4 or 5 guys in their team who can also keep wicket in an emergency. Guys who regularly keep wicket like Latham, but also guys like Conway who've kept wicket. I believe Mitchell can keep wicket. So they have a lot of depth in their system that's bringing these kind of players. And I don't know why you would take a team who are the reigning World Test champions lightly when you consider how they won the last time, how they played to win it. This is an exceptional side. They're also World Cup finalists. They did pretty well in the World T20 also. So New Zealand now are a kind of team, I don't think you can afford to take them lightly in any format, Amit.
How well, Hassan, has the combination of Ben Stokes and McCullum worked for England as well? England cricket probably needed it the most. They were in the headlines, in the news all the time, losing 11 series straight on. Joe Root, of course, criticised the structure, criticised major office bearers at the ECB stepping down. After all of these problems, once again, not just this phenomenal test side, but side by side, we were witnessing that one-day series against the Netherlands as well. It's absolutely superb the way things are going.
It really is, and it just goes to show. I was reading on Brendan McCullum, and he said, "I'm not going to talk to the press when my team wins. I'm only going to front up if we lose." So I think he's creating an environment for his players where they feel total comfort with him, knowing that he's got their back. Almost a lot of people were saying his role is like that of a football manager, someone to just back them. I don't think he's going to be bringing a lot of technical change to them. He's just going to be someone, and again, Ahmedji, Asifji, we've seen this. He was an exceptional player, Brendan McCullum. He was an exceptional captain. He was a trendsetter in many ways. So a lot of the players will look up to him and they'll think to themselves, how lucky are we to have him? And Ben Stokes, like you said, brilliant start to his career as a captain against the country of his birth. So I don't think they would have expected it to go well, but how well it's gone, they'll be very happy with it. And they seem to have a blueprint, which I think England will keep following for some time, just playing attacking, aggressive cricket, baseball, as people want to call it. And I think they've found something really good.
Yes, and that's where Ramiz Raja, following his traits and bringing back Matthew Hayden for the World Cup, as he announced. So you know that it's really important, power hitting.
And the World Cup is in Australia, so
Yes, yes. So that's why they brought Brendan McCullum. Now they're following.
But as a cricket expert, how have you seen the transition of McCullum from a player to a coach? I mean, somebody like Hassan said, you know, probably not media savvy right now, under the limelight, just sticking to his business and the team environment, you know, for McCullum to enjoy that amount of respect from English cricketers is absolutely phenomenal.
See, Ahmed, they are thorough professional guys, and we watched him in IPL coaching there. And before he was captain for the Lahore Qalandars, and they badly failed. They didn't win anywhere in the PSL 1, 2, and 3, and then, you know, after a long time. But see the way he's working with himself, you know, that he got exceptional talent, as Hassan mentioned that, and now. The important thing is that you are transferring your talent to your team. It's really important. This is a technique where he's a level 3 coach, and you know, the education of his cricket, the knowledge of his cricket is remarkable.
Because
and
he's always been an aggressive cricketer throughout his life.
Yes, we knew him as a hard hitter. We knew him as a smasher. So yes,
very true.
Phenomenal.
The concept, Hassan, of having separate coaches now for the test format and for limited overs cricket. Probably England has set the trend, most probably if we look into the near future of cricket. But all of this, we're just going to go towards a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Sports Extra, K. Asif is still with us in studios. Asif, big question, like I said. This is a new direction now of having separate coaches. What are your thoughts about this?
See, in one thing which I always talk about, that there is no need for the power hitting coaches. One thing. Yes, separate coaches are good, you know, that you got different mentalities. For the 5 days, I mean, for the red ball cricket and for the white ball cricket, you have different mentalities.
And they have different captains as well.
They have different captains as well, you know. And it has started in India, you know, even in England they brought... you know, Paul Collingwood was the ODI captain, and Strauss was the test captain. Yes, and after that, India following the same traits. Pakistan, yes, I can see that the Babar Azam is the fine player, fine batter, and Ramiz Raja is pretty much happy with him, and he's saying that as captain he's progressing, and it's good. So I think when you are coming up with different coaches in different platforms, like for the different formats, Pakistan is a good emerging test site. Right. So, but we have same coaches. So
but at least you don't have a coach who is a coach, a chief selector, almost a captain, a batting coach, everything in himself.
He's not talking about Misbah al-Haq, guys. He's not talking about that.
I did not take any name. But the fact is, Asif, anything that England Cricket Board can do, we can do it better. If they appointed separate coaches, we have separate central contracts now. So we've done it even better now.
Yes, that's right. We're following him.
Absolutely. Asif, thank you very much for being on the show. Always a pleasure having you. Now, before we go, a very special news to share with you as well. The MAS Wrestling World Championship, Pakistan's Saad and Waqas have won big. They've won silver medals in this championship. Pakistan had initially sent 11 athletes to the championship. Mega event is featuring athletes from 45 countries. A huge shout out and congratulations to Saad and Waqas for grabbing the silver medal in this Wrestling World Championship. Well, there you go. Some great news from the platform of wrestling as well. We're winning big. So congratulations to everybody that has been involved with this entire wrestling campaign, and to the wrestlers and their coaches and the management as well. That's it for this edition of Sports Extra. We'll catch you in the next show. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.